Hey, it is an unstoppable day. It's your boy, Terrance, the Unstoppable Coach Leftridge, coming to you with another special edition of the Talking Small Business with Terrance show. Hey, come on in. And if you are listening on the podcast, welcome to the podcast for Talking Small Business, where we help businesses move from being stuck into being unstoppable. And hey, if you are struggling with your business this week, then you know exactly what I'm talking about being stuck while you are sheltered in this week for maybe the first time in your business, if not for the first time in a long time. We want to help you move from being shut down while you're sheltered in. So we've got 19 awesome tips to keep your business from shutting down while you're sheltered in. We're going to give you some breakthrough ideas that maybe you've never thought of before. And we are going to, for the first time, be sharing this live as well as sharing it on our podcast. We're going to give a couple of minutes to make sure people get this information. Come on in, like and share. Come on in, like and share. And hey, you're sheltered in anyway. Why don't you just go ahead and have a party at home? Let's go ahead and start a watch party right now. So all you got to do is click on your link. Click on your share tab that's on Facebook Live right now, and it's going to ask you whether you want to share a watch party on your page, or if you want to share a watch party on one of the groups, one of the many groups that you are in. Hey there, Velton. Thank you so much, Velton Schauer from South Florida. He is in the house. I saw Kesey Authoress. She was in the room too, so hopefully she'll post a comment. What I'd love for you guys to do is I would love for you to go ahead and post a comment in the comment section if there is something that you are loving from this broadcast. If there's a tip you didn't think of that you want to say, hey, that's a good tip, go ahead and put that in the comments room. Now here, also, if you want to get the notes, if you want to get the replay of this video afterwards, then you can just go put notes in the comment section along with your email address, and we will send you a copy of the replay so that you can have it for your own notes. So here we go. So you know what? I this is part of the week where I am trying to help businesses through Talking Small Business continue to move forward despite this pandemic called COVID-19. COVID-19 is changing all of our lives in one way or another. Whether you're someone who absolutely has the virus and you are on your incubation stage, or whether you're somebody who is affected in your business because of all the restrictions that have been put in place to help fight and help decrease the spread of the virus. You know, we all are going to have to make sacrifices, and we're all going to have to make adaptations to how we do business. But that by no means means you should be shutting down your business just because you're sheltered in. And we're going to talk to you about some great ways to get that done so that you're not too adversely affected. I know if you're a brick and mortar store and you've got products sitting on the shelves, then that's probably going to affect you adversely, but it doesn't have to completely shut you down. And that's the message that we want you to get if you get no other message today. Don't shut down just because you're sheltered in. And I think some of these tips that we're going to throw out to you are going to help you recognize that you don't have to be that way. So, again, I'm going to make sure that we are going through loud and proud. Let me look at a couple of things. Let me go refresh screen, make sure that this broadcast is coming through live. Okay, I see that it is coming through live. Let me make sure we got some sound. Okay, there's some sound. Bada bing, bada boom. Let me go ahead and share this a to some groups, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Give time for more people to come on in because that's exactly what we want. We want more people to come on in and be a part of this broadcast. Hey, Lena, thanks for liking the video. Hopefully, you'll go ahead and share it out, start a watch party. Hopefully, things are going well with your senior housing in Matson, Illinois. Lena doing big things out there. Well, we're hoping that that is not being adversely affected by everything that is happening at this time. So definitely come on in, like and share as I continue to share this out to some other people. Let people know that we are live right now with 19 awesome tips to keep your business from shutting down while you're sheltered in. Hey, Deborah Smith. Deborah Smith, she shared the video. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Go ahead, share the video, and be sure to start a watch party. Yes. We love watch parties. We love being able to collaborate and connect with other people that we may not have the opportunity to connect with because they're not part of our circle of influence. But if I'm part of Deborah's circle of influence, and then she introduces me to her circle of influence, and then Lena's in my circle of influence, and I can introduce Deborah's people to Lena, now we are building up and we are letting our options get bigger and bigger and better. We're opening up to more leads. We're opening up to more possibilities for our businesses to be introduced to people that we might not have been introduced to otherwise. So go ahead and like and share and put this information out there. And then we will get started in just a few minutes. So uh, again, we want you to go ahead and post in the group. We want you to let us know that you are there. I am going to go ahead and start a watch party on my page so that we can let some more people know about it. So just hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute, as we like to say. So hopefully, you guys are not slacking in your business this week while you are sheltered in. Hopefully, you are finding new and creative ways to go ahead and continue to make your business work despite this sheltered in state that we are in right now. We've gone through worse things. Trust and believe we have gone through worse things. And if you've lived as long as I've lived or longer, you've seen some things that you didn't think we were going to make it through. I mean, let's just think about the Prince song, for example, 2000 Party Over, It's Out of Time. I mean, that right then, we just made us think that it was going to be the end. But 20 years later, we are still here. So that should tell you something. That should tell you something. We're not just going to just disappear because of COVID-19. We are stronger than that. We are not going to be stopped by no friggin' virus when we know we have more things that we're able to do in spite of the virus restrictions than what are stopping us because of those restrictions. So we want to make sure that you recognize the things that you're still able to do while you are sheltered in so that it will not stop you from shutting down. So I'm going to go ahead and share this out a couple more places and share it with some friends. Bam, 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 bam. Share it with my BBS family. Bam, 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 bam. There you go. Here we go. All right. And then we'll start a watch party in the media exposure group. And then we'll go ahead and get started. All right. There you go. So now we have got it started. And again, if you want to get a copy of this afterwards, then you just go ahead and put your email in the comment section, and then we'll make sure that you get a copy of it. And we'll probably be doing this all over on YouTube later on today as well. So there'll be many, many opportunities to get a refresher on this broadcast that we're doing today. So we just want you to be present in the broadcast right now. And if you're here watching live, go ahead and type live in the feed. If you're watching replay, go ahead and say replay, and then we know you have watched it later. So let's talk. Let's talk a little bit about COVID 19. And if anyone knows me as a motivational speaker and my unstoppable thoughts of the week, as I take a sip of coffee, to your success, unlimited success, even though you're sheltered in. Anyone who knows me knows that I love to take the opportunity to take a word and break it down into an acronym. So I took an opportunity to just really meditate on COVID 19, and I came up with a just some words that we could do to counteract the negativity that is associated with COVID 19. I mean, the only thing you hear is that the sky is falling and that everything is just going to be bad. And the numbers are devastating. Don't get me wrong. And we don't want to downplay that this actually exists, but we don't want to overplay it to the point where you are dead even before you get the virus, if you're ever intended to get the virus at all. So go with me for a couple of minutes as we talk about the words to counteract this whole COVID 19 pandemic and how it is affecting our psyche, affecting our mindset, because how it affects our mindset is also going to determine how we move forward. So, the first thing that when I thought about COVID, I thought about the letter C. And for me, the letter C in how to interact and counteract the effects of this whole pandemic is to just be cautious. Be cautious. That is the first thing I want you to do. If I could spell right, IOUS. Be cautious. And what do I mean by that? Of course, this is for real. Over 200,000 cases worldwide have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. So it's clearly there. So there's no getting around it. It's not any hype. It's not a government conspiracy, as people have been trying to say on social media. It's real. So how do we deal with it? Well, first you've got to be cautious. You've got to be cautious. Follow the guidelines that the CDC has put out there. Make sure you're washing your hands. Make sure you're washing your hands. I saw a doctor who was saying that at least wash your hands as long as it takes you to sing 2 verses of Happy Birthday to You. If you do that, and if you make sure you're getting in the top of your hands and the bottom of your hands, and you're taking off your jewelry and you're making sure you're washing around that, you are going to be doing your part to decrease the spread of the virus. Also, what you should have been doing all along. Make sure you're covering your mouth. Make sure if you're sick, you stay inside. Make sure you're getting good health. Just yesterday, I went and worked out and I went and voted. So I worked on my physical health and I worked on my mental health because it's important at this time that more than ever that we make sure we're getting the right leaders in positions of leadership to help us get through this mess. And that's part of the caution. Don't just start doing reckless things. Make sure that you're being cautious, but continue to live your life. So that's the C in the COVID-19. Now let's move to the O in the COVID-19, and then we'll get to those 19 ways that you can uh, keep your business from shutting down while you are sheltered in. The O in COVID, for me, it just stands for be optimistic. And I'm typing these right now as opposed to pre doing it because I really want to interact with you guys. And the best way I know to interact is to be doing it live in real time. And if something else comes into my mind at that time that I want to bring up, I will definitely bring that up to you as well. So let's talk about being optimistic. Thanks, Carol. Thanks, Carol, for sharing this broadcast. And you guys, if you are watching, come on and put your comments in the feed. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what how you're doing in your business and what you're doing in your business to make sure that you are not shutting down while you are sheltered in. We are looking forward to hearing your comments, seeing your comments in the comment section, and go ahead and share this with all of your friends. I'm sure they will be happy that you did. Looking over in the watch party's going on in the media exposure. We're also going to share this to a couple of groups real quick, make sure that they know what's going on. Let's see. Share. Share now. Here we go. All right. So, what do I mean by being cautious, being optimistic? Again, there is so much more that you could be hoping for as a result of what's happening. This is just an adjustment. That's what I think. This is just another reason for you to be flexible in your business and to be adaptable in your skills of how you do your business. You know, I've got this other show called The Unstoppable Story Show that comes on Tuesday nights. And I tell you guys, each and every week, something happens to have my business prove that we are unstoppable. Something comes along to try to stop us, something comes along to try to derail us. And that's what's happening right now. This is just something that has come along to prove your worth, to have you prove your determination, to have you really realize if this is what you want to do. Do you really want to be in business? Or is this just the excuse you were waiting for to have your business fold and fail? If you're optimistic, you know that this too shall pass. And that's what I put. I want you to put that in the comments. Put in the comments that this too shall pass because it's so true. This too shall pass. We've gone through World War One, World War Two. We've gone through just recently the 9/11, and then in 2008 we went through our last recession. But we went through. And the one thing I know, a quote that I live by, is that sometimes you've got to go through it in order to grow through it. And in order for your business to grow, this may just be the thing that you have to go through. How will you maneuver your business so that you can go through this time where you are sheltered in and then grow through it and learn some new ways of doing business that you might not have learned if not for having gone through this situation? So, definitely, I want you not only to be cautious, but I want you to be optimistic and know that this too shall pass and that you can encourage your clients to and your employees that this too will pass for them. Yeah, some layoffs have taken place. Yeah, some of your employees may be anxious, and they may not know how to deal with this because this is their paycheck. This is their livelihood. This is how they make it from week to week for themselves and their families. You, as the leader in your business, you have to show that optimism. That optimism has to come from the top. When it comes from the top, then that optimism will trickle down. If your employees and your clients and your customers see that you are not adversely affected, or you're not giving in to the fear or giving in to the hype, then they're going to stick and stay with you too, because they're going to feed off your energy. Where the energy flows, that's where your focus goes. So if your focus is on, oh, this virus is just going to shut us down, then that's the energy that's going to come into your business. But if your energy says that despite this obstacle, I'm going to learn how to turn it into opportunities, then that's where the energy is going to flow to. It's going to flow to you thinking about new opportunities. It's going to flow to you finding different ways to do what you've already been doing. It's going to flow in a direction that you're going to find new support systems that you didn't even know existed, only because you decided that you weren't going to give into the fear, and that you were going to remain optimistic. All right. So be cautious, be optimistic, but then also when I looked at the V and I meditated on the V in COVID-19, it just, what was given to me is that you have to be vigilant. You have to be vigilant. And what does vigilant mean? Vigilant means, it's a good word that I like to say, is you've got to be stubborn. You got to be stubborn about your business. You've got to know that come hell or high water, you are going to make this business work. You are going to make this business flourish. And you're going to have to speak on that and stand on that. You're going to have to speak life to your business despite this new pandemic that is causing illness and death around the world. You and your business can continue to thrive if you decide to be vigilant. Don't shut down because you're sheltered in. Learn new ways to do your business, and we're going to talk about some of those ways when we get to the 19 different ways that you can keep your business from shutting down while you're sheltered in. It's important that you be vigilant. It's important that you do what I'm doing right now. So here's one of those tips right now. Hopefully you've got your pen, and hopefully you've got your piece of paper, because note takers are money makers, and the hand is the digital recorder for the mind. So you've got to increase your online presence. You got to do what I'm doing right now. Well, I've got my banana. We're all sheltered in, so sometimes we're eating and working, working and eating and drinking all at the same time. But you've got to increase your online presence. And we're going to talk about a couple of ways to do that. But one of these is just continuing to communicate online via video, like I'm doing right now, talking to you about tools, tips, and strategies that you can continue to help your small business flourish and not shut down during these times where you have to be sheltered in. So let's continue to be vigilant in your business. Don't shut down just because you're sheltered in. As I continued to meditate, I went on to that letter I in COVID. And that letter I in COVID, always, this is a good one. This one, if you're not doing it, shame on you. If you're not doing it, it's not too late to get started. And it is to invest. Be investors. Yes, that's what I want you to understand. And I'll break that down a little bit more. But here's, we want you to be investors. That is the best way that you're going to allow yourself and your business not to shut down during the sheltered in. What do people usually do when they can't go out? They start binge watching. They start binge watching TV shows. They start binge watching movies. They start reading books. They start looking at videos like you're doing right now. But ultimately, what does that all mean? Now they're investing in themselves, whether you're investing in some self care where you are binge watching some shows that you hadn't seen before, or shows that you've been meaning to watch. That's self care. That's investing some time in yourself. Well, from a business owner, you also can take this time to be reading some of those business books that you didn't get around to reading. You can be catching up on some webinars and some online coaching that you hadn't had a chance to do because you were out and about running your business. Now that you are sheltered in, you can invest a little bit more time in yourself as well as investing time in your business. And again, as we talk about the 19 ways to keep your business from shutting down as you're sheltered in, recognize that this is not only ways to keep your business from shutting down, these are ways to keep you from shutting down, from you from shutting down because of this massive media presence that is telling you about all this grief and tragedy that's out there. You could shut down and decide to just shelter in and put your head underneath the pillow and don't come out till you think it's better. But that's not what we want you to do. You're not one of those people that's going to shut down. You're an unstoppable person, especially if you're watching this live or via replay. You know that you will make it through this if you decide to take this time and strategically use this time that was given to you, this time that is actually a gift to you that you probably wouldn't have made time for yourself to do because you were out there running your business. Take this time now to invest in yourself and invest in those things that you haven't had time to do before so that once this is over, you'll be able to hit the ground running and you'll be moving forward at light speed with new, genuine information and new, awesome ways to do things that's going to make your business go forward. So, if any one of these meditative words I've shared with you so far is resonating with you, go ahead and put that in the comment. We want to see which one of those words are resonating with you. And you can put it in the comments whether you're watching us live or whether you're watching in the replay. I will be going back and I will be checking on these just to see if these are helping you or blessing you. Okay? So be cautious, be optimistic, be vigilant, be investors. And then the letter D, when I meditated on the letter D, that just said be decisive. Yes, be decisive. The number one thing that any business owner can do right now to stop their business from shutting down is to continue to make decisions. You've got to continue. I'm an Avengers fan, and hopefully, some people of you have watched all the Marvel Avengers movies. Well, in the first Avengers movie, Nick Fury, played by the phenomenal Samuel L. Jackson, said to one of his lieutenants that we are to continue to move on and do steps A, B, and C to protect the business. And the lieutenant said to him, well, uh, Commander Fury, should we be focusing on that right now? And Nick said back to her, until the world stops spinning, we're going to continue to function as it's going to move on. Powerful statement. And the message that I want to say to you is that continue to move forward as if the world is going to continue to move on, because the world has not stopped spinning just because COVID-19 has reared its ugly head. There are still things to do. There are things that you can still do in your business, but you've got to decide to be decisive. Nothing will scare your clients and your customers and your employees more than a leader who's afraid to make decisions during these trying times. You've got to be able to learn how to make those decisions and stand on those decisions. Now is not the time to waver. Now is the time to stand firm and show a sense of decisiveness that will allow your clients, your customers, and your employees to follow suit because they know that somebody is in charge and somebody has a plan and somebody's going to move us through And more importantly, someone's going to make decisions, whether they're the wrong decisions or the right. Because here's the one thing I know: if you never make a decision, you'll never know if it was the right one or the wrong one. And it's almost guaranteed that if you make no decisions, it's always going to be the wrong decision. So be decisive, be disciplined, be determined, still continue to run your business like a business. Don't run your business in fear and decide that you're going to do some things that you wouldn't normally do in your business to move it forward. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to have to think outside of the box, and we're going to give you 19 different ways to do that in this broadcast. But it does mean that you still want to be disciplined. You don't want to throw the baby over with the bathwater. You want to be disciplined, you want to be determined, and you want to recognize that this is a new experience for everyone. It's uncharted waters. There is no roadmap to deal with this coronavirus from before. This is something new, and we're all going to be adjusting on the fly. But even in those adjustment periods, you still need to be decisive. You still got to make decisions. Some decisions you're going to have to make right now. Some decisions you're going to have to look at the data and see what decisions you make from that. And some decisions you're just going to have to rely on your team, your business team that you put in place to come up with a collaborative decision that's going to move your business forward. And don't, let me repeat, don't be afraid to make the wrong decision. That's part of what being a leader is about. Sometimes you make a decision and it's not the right decision. Own it, make another decision, and move forward. So if you decide to be cautious, be optimistic, be vigilant, be investors, and be decisive. Let me say that again. If you decide to be cautious, if you decide to be optimistic, if you decide to be vigilant, if you decide to be investors in yourself and your business, and you decide to be decisive, whether it turns out to be the right or the wrong decision, then you will tell COVID that you ain't gonna stop me. I'm not gonna be stopped by no freaking virus because me and my business, we are unstoppable. So I just want to share that with you. And now we're going to jump into the 19 things you can do to keep your business from shutting down. And again, I want you to realize that you don't have to take copious notes. Recognize that we just want you to be present while you're watching this live, and we definitely want you to watch the replay. We want you to understand that we will be giving you the notes. So all you have to do is type notes, whether you're replay or whether you're live, type notes in the comment section with your email address, and then we'll send you a copy of this replay video so that you can watch it and catch up on some of the things that you didn't get a chance to see. So thanks, Nikki Hammer. Thank you for watching. And thanks, Velton, for coming in. We want to make sure that we are still going live. So let me go back over to this page, make sure we can hear, because I want you to make sure you guys are getting this information. So yeah, I can still hear us. We're still going live. All right, so let's send it out to a couple more people. Make sure that they're getting this. So we're gonna share it to my page. And just remind some more people that we are live this morning. "19 things you can do to not shut down while being sheltered in." There you go. We'll just send that out. Tag some more people. Tag some more people. Tag some more people. And then we'll go right into the 19 things. Want to make sure that everybody gets this information, everybody can put this information to good use right now, not just later, but right now. So we'll send it out to a couple of people. One more set of people, and then we will move forward. Hopefully, you guys are getting some good information from this and you will share it with some other people. And just let you know that if you want the notes, we will be giving out the notes through the replay. Just put your email address in there and we'll go forward. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about the 19 different things that you can do for your business to keep it from shutting down while you're sheltered in. Now, this by no means is an exhaustive list. These are just 19 things I came up with. Based upon who you are and what your business is, you may have 19 completely different things. That is absolutely okay. But here's what we want you to do, we want you to take time to come up with a list. Because if you come up with a list and have 19 things in it, and then somebody else shares their list of 19 things, they may have come up with 19 completely different things that you didn't think of. So sharing is caring. And the only way we're all going to make it through this situation with our businesses intact is if we use this time to share information, to collaborate, and to learn how to think outside of the box to make our business continue to thrive instead of shutting down. So here's 19 things to keep you from shutting down. So let's start. Type slower than I talk, so bear with me. So here's 19 things to keep you from shutting down. 19 things to keep you from shutting down. So number one is what we are doing right now. This is a webinar. That's what this essentially is. This is a webinar to train you and to coach you on some new ways to keep your business from shutting down while sheltering in. If I can do it, you can do it too. This is so simple. I am not technologically advanced. I don't have IT behind my name. Half the time, I can't tell you what the I or the T means. But I was able to connect with other people who taught me about these easy to use technology tips in order to get on and have an online presence for my business. And one of the ways is to be a webinar. If you have a business, then you are an expert. No matter if your business has been going for a month or if your business has been going for 10 years, you have learned some things in business that somebody else probably needs to know. You have learned some things and you can teach some things based upon your successes and based upon your failures that is going to be of value to somebody else as they start their business or as they continue to upgrade and up level their business. Through a webinar, you can teach them new and amazing things that might help their business get to the next level of their greatness. Plus, you now have an online presence, and now you open yourself up to being in front of your target market in different ways, especially if you've only been a brick and mortar store for the years that you've been in business. Yeah, all the time I run into business owners and I say, well, how do you get your audience? How do you attract your audience? How do you get your clients? And they say, oh, word of mouth. People who've been in the store tell other people and they come to the store. Well, that's great, but that only gives you a limited segment of your market. This online webinars, these online presence can take your business to a whole different level, and it will let other people know that your brick and mortar exist, therefore pulling more people into your store. You can imagine, I live down here in South Florida, which is one of the tourist capitals of the world, and a lot of tourism happens because of word of mouth, because of people who've been here before who tell other people. But I would dare say a large majority of tourism that takes place now takes place because of South Florida putting itself out there on an online presence through videos, through photographs, through online marketing, through ads, through TV, through radio. It's putting yourself out there. There it's what's going to help your business go to the next level. And since you got to be sheltered in anyway, since you got to be incubated for these next couple of days or weeks, might as well continue to let your presence be known. A webinar is something that you can do one time and you can play over and over and over again on different platforms in different areas at different times, and so that your business truly becomes 24/7. So, definitely, one of the 19 ways I want you to consider is webinars. So, let's go on. Number two, say number two, we are talking about blogs. Now, for example, for maybe you are not the person that loves to have your camera on face. Maybe you're not as pretty and as handsome as I am, and that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. But you still want to get your message out. Well, blogging is something that has been around for at least a decade now, but doesn't get very much use or as much use as it probably should. Because blogging is the ability for you to get your message out to the masses and give them a piece of you each and every time you blog. So blogging is basically just doing an email and putting it on your website and talking about what's going on with your business, what changes that might be taking place in your business, what specials you might have going on with your business, whether it is a product or service, where you might be for your next live event. All of that information can be put into the blog and sent out on social media, sent out on your email. You can send it out to companies that do press releases, and you can put it on your website. And that keeps your clients engaged and in tune what's happening with your business on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, depending on how often you put the blog out. So blogging, in addition to doing your online webinars, is great exposure for your business, and it sets you up as an expert and an authority in your field because you're constantly sharing value through the information that you share in the blogs. So that's number two. Let's go to number three. Say number three. Yes, number three. And it's just a linkage on to what I just said. So maybe you don't want to have a full blown blog. Maybe you're not the person who's talking daily, weekly. Uh, Maybe you're the person who just wants to send out a newsletter when events are happening or when specials are happening for your customers and you want them to know about it. Sending out a newsletter is something that you can also do weekly, you can do monthly, you can even do quarterly as things happen in your business. And in the newsletter, you can talk about some things that you've done in the past. You can talk about some things that are coming up. And you can also talk about some tips or strategies that your business uses that your customers and your clients need to know. Again, that newsletter is something that they can physically take, they can physically watch on their computer or on their phone, or they can even print it out in some cases. And it's a piece of your business that they have that they can refer back to. Maybe you cover a question, maybe you cover a hot topic in your newsletter, and it's going to be informational, not just today, but tomorrow, next month, next year. That newsletter is a piece of you that they can refer back to as an expert authority. I think it's important that I put this up. I want you guys to be known as expert and authority. authoritarians. If that's if it's not a word, I just made it up. I want you to be known as experts and authoritarians in your field. And that's a lot of these tips are going to allow you, if you don't already have it, to become the experts and authoritarians in your field. And if you already are, it's going to continue to solidify your status as experts and authoritarians. So these are the 19 things you can do to keep you from shutting down while you're sheltered in during this COVID-19 pandemic. So we talked about three things. Let's move on to number four. And as I said, for number four, these are by no means the end all be alls to the list. These are just 19 things that, as I meditated on COVID 19, 19 things that I'm going to be doing and are already doing to keep my business from shutting down while I'm sheltered in. So, what's number four? Number four. Oh, I love this. I love this. If you are in business, you want to be doing this, especially during this time, especially when your customers and your clients can't come in to physically reach out and shake your hand. And there's this thing called social distancing. That's the new buzzword now during this pandemic: social distancing. I don't like that terminology. I think I'm more comfortable with the personal distancing. I don't necessarily want to be in your personal space because I don't want you to be affected. I don't want me to get infected. But I do believe that you can still do the social aspect of your business, even if the personal distancing is in place. And how do you do that? Let's start here. Let's start with a personalized note. A personalized note. Uh, Gone are the days where people just write letters or people send postcards. It's a lost art. We, because of the digital age and because of the internet, we're doing so many things that pull us away, away, and away from our clientele, from our customers and our employees, that it's just so depersonalized. Another word that I'm just coming up with. But there's nothing like receiving a personal note. And I'm not talking about spamware. I'm not talking about these miscellaneous cards that just, don't even have your name on it. And I'm sorry, because we're sheltered in, life still goes on. So I'm trying to speak louder as the landscaping takes place around my office. Uh, but a personalized note from you to your clients, from you to your employees, letting them know that during this time, we're still thinking about you. During this time, we're still open for business. It's just a different form of business. That personalized note saying that, hey, we're thinking about you during this time. We hope that you're following the CDC guidelines. We hope that you are taking care of your family, and we hope that you are taking time during this time to practice self-care, health, and doing those things to make sure that we can see you on the other side as this pandemic ends. That personalized note is going to make all the difference in the lives of your clients and especially in the lives of your employees, because your employees, believe it or not, are your ambassadors for your company. So if you're not taking care of your employees, if you're not reaching out to your employees, you're doing your business a disservice. And that is going to be one of the quickest ways that your business shuts down. Not that you lose customers, but that you lose your ambassadors that build the foundation of which your business is built on. So actually a personalized note is number four. And for number four, we're going to say personalized note to your clients. See if that comes back up. So, and then number five, is just going to be that personalized note to your distributors, especially if you have a brick and mortar business. You want to keep your distributors in the loop. You want to know that they're okay because they are the lifeblood of your business. They are the ones that get the products to your business. They are the one that sends out the products to your customers. They are the ones that may be really helping you send your message across the world while you are sheltered in. So you want to make sure that you're reaching out to your distributors, make sure that they're not only okay and that they're dealing with this pandemic the best way they can, but to let them know what your plan of action is throughout this shelter time. Maybe you're going to have to use a different type of distribution method. Maybe you're going to have a different distribution calendar. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that you're reaching out to your distributors because they are part of the lifeblood of your business as well. So, in addition to number four being your personalized note to your clients, you want to make sure number five, you're sending a personalized note to your distributors. And then number six, tell you being sheltered in doesn't mean that the world doesn't stop. I told you that earlier. There's still people who have to work, and we pray that they are being safe and they are being cautious while they are out in the elements, still doing the work that needs to be done. Shout out to our first responders, our police officers, our fire department. Shout out to our medical staff at the hospitals and the urgent cares who are really overloaded right now with all the different testing and all the different protocols that go into place. Uh, Shout out to all of them. I know that they are doing the best they can to continue to serve their clients, which unfortunately you see them at the worst part of their life if they're coming in during this pandemic. So you want to send that personalized note to your distributors. And number six, you also want to be sending, as I said earlier, that personalized note to your employees. Let them know that you are thinking of them and you are with them during this time, and that we're all going to make it through together. We all are going to have to think outside the box, but we are there for each other. So that's number four, five, and six, the personalized notes. Don't just send a standard note to everybody, a cookie cutter note. Personalize it, sign it, put your name on it. CEO, owner, founder, manager, whatever your title is, having that personalized note is going to make a big difference to your stakeholders during this time. Okay, so again, we've gone through six of the 19 things to keep you from shutting down while you're sheltered in. So hopefully you guys are getting this. This is good information. I'm going to go see if we have any other comments. Make sure that this is still going out to people. Make sure that they can still hear it. Guys are getting this. This is good information. So we are still live. It's still going out. So we're going to just keep moving forward. And again, like I said, if you are interested in the notes, just go ahead and type notes in your email in the comment section, and we're going to make sure that we get those notes out to you. Just going through my agenda, making sure that we're covering everything, and I think this is important. If you want to be a guest, if you want to be a guest on Talking Small Business with Terrance, we regularly air live on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. If you are a small business and you've got some trials and tribulation stories that you think are going to be of value to our audience, or you have some tips, tools, and strategies that will be value to other small business owners as they continue to be unstoppable in their business, go ahead and shoot me an email at info@unstoppablecoaching.com. Info@unstoppablecoaching.com. Tell me about your business, what you do, and some of the either the trials and tribulations story you want to give me, or the tools, tips, and strategies you want to share. And who knows, you may be the next guest on Talking Small Business with Terrance Leftridge. All right. So go ahead, info@unstoppablecoaching.com, and then we'll have a conversation with you and see about getting you on the show. So we left off at number 6 of the 19 ways to keep your business from shutting down while you are sheltered in. Let's go to the number 7 way. And number 7 is something that I definitely am doing more of in my business. And if you're not doing it, then you're not going to be in business long. So, number 7, while you are sheltered in, you need to maybe either brush up on your lead generation strategies or get started with your lead generation strategies. Well, for Coach T, I have no idea what lead generation is. Well, lead generation is what we really talked about earlier when you said, when I asked you, how do you get your clients? And some of you have been dependent on word of mouth for the lifeblood of your business. But lead generation is taking that to the next level. It's taking those customers who are sending out referrals by word of mouth and taking it to another level. One thing that I'd said to you earlier in this broadcast is if you wanted the notes from this broadcast, simply put your email in the comments section and we'll send it out to you. Well, what am I doing with that strategy? That's a lead generation strategy. I'm giving you something in hopes that you'll give me something. I'm giving you a copy of this video so that you can go back and look at it at your leisure and really study some of the tips and implement some of the tips. And you're giving me your email address. And with your email address, I'm going to send you something to continue our conversation, to keep in relationship with you, hopefully sharing other tools, tips, and strategies as you move along in the lifeblood of your business. That's a lead generation. Perhaps you find something of value in this video and you need some one on one coaching. Well, I'm your guy, but I won't know that unless I reach out to you and see what else it is you need in your business. Conversely, as you work on your business and you sell your product and services, you want to continue to generate leads because if there are no clients, there's no business. If there are no customers, there's no business. If there is no one to serve, there is no business. So you have to constantly be lead generating. And while you are sheltered in, this is the perfect time to work on your lead generation strategies so that when your store does open back up, you'll be already having other leads out there that are bringing businesses into your store. Or if you work from home and you work online, you'll now have this opportunity to tap into this new source of leads because people are at home, and people, when they're at home, they're either watching TV or they're surfing the internet. They have another opportunity, a potential to run across you, your product and service, and then now you've got some new fresh leads. So that's number 7. Work on your lead generation system, work on getting some new prospects while you are sheltered in so that your business doesn't have to shut down as a result of this pandemic that's going on right now. So number eight of the 19 things is, this is something that maybe you've never heard of, and maybe you're hearing of it for the first time, but it's called Neuro, and gotta make sure I'm spelling it right, linguistic programming. Neuro linguistic programming. Now you're saying, Coach T, what the hell is neuro linguistic programming? Well, neuro linguistic programming is the science of communication. It's the science of understanding how to communicate with your clients so that you can move them to a call to action related to your business. So if your goal is to get more sales in your business, what neurolinguistic programming strategies are you going to put in place to communicate to your potential clients and prospects that you're the person and you're the business that they need, and that they should just go ahead and write the check or pull out the credit card? It's an actual science, it's an actual study. And trust me, if you take the time during this time that you're sheltered in to look up some free videos, to look up some free articles, or to even enroll in a training course on neurolinguistic programming, then you're going to be a more effective communicator. You're going to have breakthroughs in your business, and I guarantee that by just implementing this one strategy, you're going to get more leads, and you're going to ultimately have more sales in your business. So it's called neuro linguistic programming. There's videos on it on YouTube. There are sales gurus that teach it online. So you should just be able to find something. If you just type in the letters NLP, you're going to get like 12, 13 pages on Uncle Google talking about NLP. And since you're hunkered in, since you're sheltered in, it's a great time to go back to what I said, the I in COVID. Invest in yourself, invest in some new training, gather some new skills that are only going to help you after this sheltered in time is gone, after this pandemic has run its course, and as you can continue to go through and grow through in your business. All right, let me just get another sip of coffee. I'm talking, I'm talking, and hopefully I'm talking to some people that this is just having some value, and hopefully you are really benefiting from this training this morning. Okay, number nine. What do you want to do? Number nine of the ways that you can keep your business from shutting down while sheltered in is something that probably hasn't been done in your business since you started your business. And that is simply, have you looked at your business plan? Have you looked at your business plan? Have you looked at that plan that is the foundation for how you do business? If you haven't looked at your business plan, now is a great time to pull it out, blow the dust off of it, and really look at that business plan. Especially if your business has been struggling, especially if it hasn't grown in the areas that you wanted it to grow. This is a perfect time to take a look at it, refresh it, put a new coat of paint on that business plan, and put some strategies and things in place that's going to help your business now flourish. Maybe you haven't had the time to look at your business plan because you've been spending so much time running your business. I'm a firm believer that the creator sometimes puts us in positions where he has to stop us so that we can focus on the things that we need to focus on. So we're so busy out there doing activities, but not really being productive. We're active, but we're not productive. And because we're active and not productive, it's like the Ferris wheel. It's like the hamster on the Ferris wheel. You're going, but you're not going anywhere. You're just going around in circles. Now that you have this time where you have to be sheltered in, now's the time to sit down with your business plan, take a look at it, and see if your business plan is doing the things in your business that you created it to do when you created it. And if not, tweak it or toss it and start over again. It's never too late to start over and to get it right. But you've got to invest that time into upgrading your business plan so that after you are no longer sheltered in, you can shoot out the box and move forward with your business. Okay. So that's number nine. Let's move on as we continue to talk about the 19 tips to keep your business from shutting down while you're sheltered in. We are halfway there, y'all. So we're at number 10. Number 10. What is it? Number 10. Oh, I love this one. I love this one. And it's something that, I'm victim of not doing, probably as you are. And a lot of it may go back to that you're active running your business. There are people that will say, don't worry about anybody else's business, just focus on yours. And to an extent, that is true. But there's also a smart business owner will always gauge their competition. They will always look at what their competition is doing, not so that they can imitate it, but sometimes emulate it. You know, they say that the greatest form of flattery is to do something that somebody else is doing. Let's take the example of fast food. If you go on any fast food corner in America, you usually will not just see one fast food restaurant. Why is that? Because one restaurant knows that that is a great corner. That is a great place for business. That's a great place for their business. Let's say it's Burger King or let's say it's McDonald's. They know they did some research that said that this was a hot spot. This was a great place for their business to thrive. So they put their stakes there. They built their foundation. They built the store there, and now they're doing business there. Well, Burger King not only has their own business plan, they not only have their plan of action, but within their structure, within their ideology, they're always gauging what their competition is doing. And if you think about it, if you see a McDonald's on any given street, you can probably find their competitor, Burger King, Wendy's, KFC, Taco Bell. You'll usually find another restaurant, another fast food restaurant within a very close radius of that store. Why? Because your competition saw what you did and it's working for you, so they followed a suit. They emulated what it is you're doing. It's not that they think they can take over the block, but they know that a lot of people like to eat fast food and a lot of people like to have choices. So some days that same person that came into that McDonald's on that same location may not want to have a McDonald's. But if you've got a KFC close by and they remembered where the McDonald's was, then their mind, because they're looking for fast food, will also remember that you're there too. One day they may want burgers, the next day they may want chicken. But the fact that you're in the same location, the same geographic location, gives a customer options. And there's 7 days out of the week. And trust me, very few people will eat burgers all 7 days. At some point, they're going to want some chicken. Okay. So when you gauge your competition, whether they are apples to apples, McDonald's, Burger King, or whether it's apples to oranges, McDonald's, KFC, but you're in the same sphere, you're in the same industry. If you gauge what your competition is doing, then you will more than likely be able to take your business a little bit higher. Not just fast food. Think about hotels. Think about hotels. Most big chain hotels are surrounding an airport. So when you get off your flight and you are looking for a hotel, you don't want to have to really think about it. You want to hit Google, you want to say hotels near the airport, and what happens? You get 3, 4 pages of hotels within a mile of that airport. Why? Because hotels know that people flying in need a place to stay. Hotels know that one hotel chain can't service all the people that's coming through that airport, even if it's a relatively small airport. So you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 different options of hotels within a mile radius. How did that happen? They gauged their competition. Marriott looked at where Hilton was located. Hilton looked where Holiday Inn was located. Holiday Inn looked at where Choice Hotels was located, and they strategically put themselves within that same area so that you, the customer, client, consumer, would have choices. And they know that not one chain can handle that entire environment. So there's room for everybody to eat and for everybody to thrive. But that only happens through you gauging your competition. So when you gauge your competition, especially during this time when you're sheltered in, you can help formulate a new strategy within that business plan as you upgrade that business plan to take your business to the next level once this pandemic has ended. And you will have grown through what you've gone through because you've taken the time to implement some new strategies, some new tips to keep your business from shutting down while you're sheltered in. I hope this is all making sense. I hope you're getting it. I hope you're seeing, as small business owners, how this will make a difference in your life. Now, we're going to just run through the last nine because I don't want you to have information overload. I want you to be able to just think about these things and then implement some of these things, go back, implement some other things, go back, tweak some things, and so on and so on and so on. And you can always get in contact with me. You can always reach out to me if you don't understand some of these tips and you want to have a deeper one-on-one conversation, you can always reach out to me at info at unstoppable coaching, info at unstoppable coaching, and we can set up a time where we talk more specifically about your business and the strategies that you want to implement to move to the next level. So I'm just going to pop that up on the screen. If you're looking to have a one-on-one conversation on some of these tips and how you can implement them in your business, go ahead and hang out with us. Send us an email at info at unstoppablecoaching.com, and Talking Small Business would be more than happy to get in contact with you. So I'm going to leave that up there for a second so that you can write that information down as we move on to number 11. Say number 11 in the 19 tips to keep your business from shutting down while you're sheltered in. Number 11. This is more of a personal growth statement than maybe your business, but it can be related to your business strategy as well. And it's simply read, y'all. Read, read. There is so much information out there related to business owners, related to personal development, related to professional development, related to self help that you could be doing right now. You don't have to just hunker down and do nothing during this sheltered in period. Now's the time to catch up on some of those readings, catch up on some of those articles, some of those research statistics for your business. Now it's time to read about some new strategies. Now it's time to read some of those empowerment books that you've been saying you're going to be reading. Uh, some of the top billionaires in the world make it a habit of reading at least 30 pages of something each and every day. Maybe you start by reading one page or something. Maybe you start by reading some articles. Maybe you start by doing some research on other businesses within your same industry and read how they're doing things from a personal level. Maybe you need to have some personal development going on inside of you so that you can be a better leader. Read, read, read. Maybe you just need to pick up a copy of my book, 11 Key Attributes of Living an Unstoppable Life. You can go to info at Unstoppable Coaching and get a copy of that book as well. Maybe you want to read about how you can be more of a collaborator. You can go to my website, unstoppablecoaching.com, and pick up a copy of the book, The Power of Collaboration, Moving from Vision to Victory. There's so many different things out there that you can read, but the most important thing is to take that time, go back to the letter I that we talked about in COVID, and invest in yourself. And one of the best ways to invest in yourself, you will always get a positive return from that investment, is by taking the time to just read. All right. Number 12, I think we hit on number 11 enough. Number 12 is this is more of a personal thing that you can do. You've got time on your hands, and yes, they say you should be sheltered in. Yes, as much as possible, uh, you should stay in the house and stay away and do that physical distancing. But right now, there are a lot of people who are in need. Let's take, for example, all the school systems for most of the major cities are closed down or on some type of reduced schedule. But our children, they still need to eat. Many of our children were dependent on the school system to get their one meal, two meals, sometimes even three meals a day. And with school not being in session, they need an outlet in order to get that necessity taken care of in their life. And so maybe you take this time to volunteer at a food kitchen. Maybe you take this time to help serve meals at schools. Maybe you take this time to go volunteer at the food pantries, restocking shelves and making sure that the orders of food are getting boxed and separated so that they can go to these other facilities so that these children can continue to be fed. Yeah, it's putting you in a space with other people and you could potentially be around people who have the virus, but we can't live in a spirit of fear. If we all live in a spirit of fear, then we all stay in our own domiciles, and the people who still need us don't get serviced. And trust me, the people who still need you may be your potential future customers and clients. And what you do today by volunteering is going to make a difference in how your business grows after this is over. So volunteer. And it doesn't just have to be at a food kitchen, whatever in your local area that you feel compelled to go volunteer your time to do. I'm sure it will make a difference in the lives of the people who need it. So just think about that. While you can't physically be at your place or at your brick and mortar store, you can still be bringing value to others and being of service to others just by volunteering. Okay? Number 13. Number 13, we're doing a little bit of that right now, but on a more basic level, especially if you are a Apple user. I'm not an Apple user. I'm Team Android, but I know Apple has this beautiful component to all their phones and their devices known as FaceTiming. So, but we're going to talk about it in more of a generic song. Video chatting. Many of you have businesses that are global, and many of you had businesses where people were coming in for meetings or you were going to conferences. Well, that can't really happen now, but you still have the ability to use this technology called the internet to FaceTime or video chat. You can set up a video conferencing system for little or no money in your own home. What I'm using right now to do this webinar is the same thing that I do to video chat. And to be honest, if you wanted to do both and you really just had no other way of doing it, you can simply use your phone, whether it's Team Android or Team Apple. Each of them have their a video chat component either through an app or directly in the phone that allows you to still be in contact with your client base, your customer base, your employee base through the internet. Great way to keep that personalized touch while you are sheltered down. Look at all of our government officials who have voluntarily decided to shelter down or to incubate for 14 days. They're still sending out videos. They're still video chatting. They're still recording things and putting them over the internet. Just look at our uh, late night television. I saw Jimmy Kimmel. I saw Jimmy. Um, God, I can't think of his name right now. So we'll just go with the Tonight Show, the late night on CBS, as well as Jimmy Kimmel on ABC. They all stopped doing live shows this week, but they all did a video stream on Instagram, and they still gave out content. John Legend, to as a singer, he wanted to continue to allow people to be able to have some sort of entertainment and to take their mind off of this current situation. So he did a 45-minute concert live streamed on Instagram just yesterday, and other singers, composers, musicians, they're doing the same thing over the next coming weeks. You, as a business owner, can use that same technology to continue to keep people abreast of what's happening with your business, to continue to give information about your industry and continue to be a support system for your clients, customers, and employees as we go through this point. So, whatever phone you have, whatever system you have at home, consider video chatting, consider FaceTiming just to keep your face out there and to continue to be relevant as a business during this time of COVID 19. All right. Number 14. Number 14. Here we go. This is going to be 14, 15, and 16, but it's going to be different for uh, whoever your stakeholder is. And if it's something you haven't done, if you are a social media dinosaur, then this is a great time for you to move out of the dinosaur age and move into the social media age. And so we're going to start with number 14. Number 14 is create a Facebook business page. That's Let me correct that. Let me make sure I put that in there, because if you're watching me now, you're probably watching me from your personal Facebook page. Maybe someone sent this over to you. Maybe somebody shared this link with you. But I want to be clear that we want you to not just create a Facebook page, we want you to create a business page. Create a Facebook business page. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what I am talking about. And share screen. And we're going to bring it up. And it's going to be, we're going to highlight on it. And we are going to find one of my pages, my business page. So, as you guys know, I am a motivational speaker, a professional MC. I'm also an author, coach, and my main business is the coaching. And here is my business page, Unstoppable Coaching Services, where we are help you be accountable to living the life you were created to live. That is my business page on Facebook. And everything on this page deals with the business of coaching. You have some of my unstoppable quotes that I put up there. And you have some of my videos that I put up there. We talk about my other shows that I do through this business, which is the Unstoppable Author Show, as well as the Unstoppable Story Show, as well as Talking Small Business with Terrance. So all of those things occur through the business page. And this is powerful. If you have a separate business page where you can push people to see more about your business, your services, and your products, then that is golden. You can't beat that with a stick. Is so important for you to have in this day and age as we move from a personal, in person way of doing business into a digital way of doing business. You've got to be able to have a way where people can find you online other than your website, because websites, they're fading away. Websites, even though they're still a great thing to have, people get 90-95% of their information through Google, through YouTube, and through social media sites like Facebook and like um, 15 and 16, which I'll just put up real quick as well. And so you not only want to create a Facebook business page, you want to create a Instagram page. That's 15. And 16, you want to create, especially if you're in business, you want to create a LinkedIn page. That's number 16. So, why do I mention Facebook? Why do I mention Instagram? And why do I mention LinkedIn? Because those are the number three, top three social media pages for businesses. Specifically, if you just want to do nothing but talk about business, LinkedIn is your page. If you want to connect with other business owners or other industries, LinkedIn is your page. But Facebook has over a billion, I said a billion with a B, followers. So you definitely want to have your business on Facebook. And conversely, Facebook bought Instagram so that they could have access to another million or so followers. So that even creates and increases their range, their exposure. So you definitely want to have yourself on Instagram, and especially if you are a business that is a visual business, like real estate or like photography or like fashion, you definitely want to have an Instagram page. That's number 15. An Instagram page, because Instagram is mostly pictures, it's mostly visual. If you want to have something, if you've got something in your business that pops and stands out, you want to have it on Instagram. But if you want to have the ability to network with other businesses in your industry, or those collateral businesses that kind of circumvent what your business is all about, then you definitely want to be on LinkedIn. But no matter which one you choose, whether you choose Facebook or whether you choose Instagram or whether you choose LinkedIn, and even there are other social medias that I'm not going to really talk about. You can decide what's best for you. Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, all these other places that are coming out. That's more based upon what your demographic is. The key is that you want to create a business page on social media. You definitely want to be part of the social media revolution. Again, even though we have to do physical distancing during this time of being sheltered in, that doesn't stop the social distancing. That doesn't stop you from having a social media presence. That doesn't stop you from having an online presence. If nothing else, it probably gives you the time to really enhance that social media presence and enhance that online presence that you probably didn't have before. Hopefully, this is working for you. Hopefully, this is some great information. Like I said before, you have a pen and paper. That's great. Note takers and money makers. But if you don't, that's okay too, because we will be sending you the notes. All you have to do in order to get those notes, all you have to do in order to get those notes is to let us know. You want the notes? Post your email in the comments section, and we will send you the replay link to this show so that you can go back and catch some of these 19 tips. And we look forward to having a deeper conversation with you and maybe helping you in your one on one strategies towards taking your business to the next level so that it doesn't shut down while you are sheltered in. All right, we are in the home stretch. Let's go knock these last three out real quick, and then we are going to call it a session. So, number 17, 17. Okay, so maybe this video thing ain't for you. Like I said earlier, maybe you're not as pretty as this face is. Maybe you are just afraid of being in front of the camera. That doesn't stop you from having your social imprint, your online imprint from being out there. You can do, let me revise this real quick, take this down. Two things you can do. You can either do a telesummit, or the new craze out there is that you can do a podcast. Yes, do a podcast. A telesummit or a podcast is just an audio show. That's the best way I can put it. Telesummit, you can do it over the telephone. There are great apps out there that give you a conference call number. Many of them are free, some of them are paid, but there are many free options out there like freeconferencecall.com where you can sign up, get a free number, and you can do a conference call. You can do this entire webinar that I just did via video. You can do this over the phone. And the application gives you the ability to send invites out to your clients and customers. Maybe your clients don't have smartphones. Maybe they do have a regular phone, so that they can still call in and get this information as opposed to having to go online, go on the computer, go to a link. Maybe they are social dinosaurs as well, and they don't know how to use all this technology to connect with you in the virtual world. Telesummits still work. Telesummits still turn into lead generation opportunities. Telesummits still convert in the world of sales. Maybe, if not the telesummit, maybe you want to go a little bit higher and you want to create your own podcast. Podcasts are everywhere now. You can watch a podcast on the plane while you're flying from place to place. You can listen to a podcast on your smartphone while you're driving to work. You can listen to it while you're on the train to work. You can listen to it when you get home at night. Podcasts are on Apple. Podcasts are on Google. Podcasts on Spotify. Podcasts are on Breaker. Podcasts are on Blog Talk Radio. Podcasts are everywhere, and it's just a recorded version of your show. This same webinar that I'm doing right now via video will be a podcast, either one full podcast, or we'll be breaking it up into different segments of a podcast that now you will be able to listen to at your leisure on your phone, on Google, on Apple, on Spotify, on all these different hosting services. And I can show you how to create your own podcast. If you are interested in getting a free PDF on the 6 steps to getting started with podcasting, you can go ahead and also send me an email to info, or you can put a DM here in the comments. Info at unstoppablecoaching.com, and you'll get this PDF that talks about how to create a podcast on a budget. It is a game changer if you are trying to attract new clients and if you're trying to be seen as an expert and authoritarian. Remember, we talked about one of the things that you want to be seen through all this is you want to be seen as an expert and authoritarian. And the best way to do that is by doing these telesummits, is by doing these podcasts, is by doing these video live streams, which is what I'm doing right now with this webinar. All of these things position you as an expert and authoritarian. Okay? So that's number 17. We got two more to go. Two more to go. So let's jump into number 18. Number 17 was to do a telesummit or a podcast. The number 18 thing that you can do to keep your business from shutting down while you are sheltered in is you can set up discount sales. Discount sales. Trust and believe, while you are in this situation, while you are not able to do any business, there will come a time where business will be back. But as we've seen in most tragedies, as we've seen in most catastrophes, a segment of your population either relocates or a segment of your population now has other things higher up on the list of things that they need to get versus your product or your service. So it's going to be key for you to keep and retain as many clients and customers as you can. One way to do that is for a short period of time, you may want to consider discounting your product or your service. You may want to consider discounting it, especially to your loyal customers to keep them. But then you also may want to consider discounting it so that now you can potentially bring in new clients that maybe couldn't afford your full budget, your full price offer, but still need your service. And because of their situation, they have to count their pennies and their dimes. By discounting your service for a short period of time, you open yourself up to potentially more clients that will become long term clients for your full price offers in the future. So it's just something to consider. Number 18, discounting your sales during this time so that you can retain your existing clients as well as potentially open the door for new clients that will become long term clients in the future. All right. And last but not least, in addition to discounting your sales, now's a good time, if you have one, to upgrade your website. Upgrade your website is number 19. And what I mean by upgrading your website, if you are a website, if you have a website for your brick and mortar store, say, let's just out of the top of my head, Sherwin Williams came up. Sherwin Williams sells paint. You usually have to go into the store to get the paint, especially if you don't know what type of paint you want and you want to see the different options. But during this time where you can't make it to the paint store, during this time where you're sheltered in, you may have decided as a customer that since I got to be home, let me paint this room. Since I got to be at home, let me upgrade the basements. And since I got to be at home, let me do these honey-do lists that you probably have somewhere that your honey did and gave to you, but you haven't gotten around to doing. If you can't get out to the store, there are still delivery services that will deliver your product to your clients. But you've got to have it on your website so that they can go to your website and pick and choose what it is they want, click that button, and have that information or that product or that service delivered to them. If your website doesn't have this online capability, you're pretty much stagnating your business until your doors open back up. But creating this online presence, creating an online store on your website will allow your customers and clients to still have access to your products and services even while they're sheltered in. And they'll remember you when this time is over because of that opportunity that you allowed them to have to still do business with you, even if they couldn't physically come into your store. So if you don't have an online store on your website, I got a great referral to a great guy who does my online store where if you need to upgrade your website, he can get you that information. You can again reach out to me at info@unstoppablecoaching.com, info@unstoppablecoaching.com, and we'll give you that referral to our website designer who can give you that information. Or you can simply leave a comment in the comment section and I'll reach back out to you. And you can do that whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching the replay. Okay? All right, so that was it. Those are the 19 things you can do to keep your business from shutting down while you're sheltered in. I hope you got value out of that. And I want you to remember that if you type notes in the comments section, we'll send you the replay link to this show. And hey, I want you to continue to thrive while you're in this COVID-19 pandemic. I don't want you to shut down. I want you to think smarter so that you don't have to work harder to keep from shutting down while you're sheltered in. I'm Terrance Leftridge with Unstoppable Coaching Services and the host of Talking Small Business with Terrance Leftridge, our special edition. And as always, wherever you are in the world today, don't just make it a great day, make it an unstoppable day. Take care.